Jay here for Stretford Paddock. This is the Paddock Podcast, live from the United States of America. We are live, and we're all here.
Don't say, oh bugger.
Yes, we're all here as well. All four of us on a podcast for the first time since 1983. I can't believe it. And also, it's another momentous occasion because today is Mr. Smith's 30th birthday. Hey.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being nice.
Get involved in the comments in the chat. Don't forget, we've got Stephen Howson, Adam McCullough, and myself, Jay Motti.
But it's not their birthday, so just
no, it's
say
not
nice
their birthday.
things
So
about
don't worry about us. Just worry about everyone else. And also, make sure you are hitting that subscribe button as well. I want to get to 800,000 subscribers by
the end of the pod.
Yeah, I think that's reasonable. And hit a like and all that stuff as well.
We'll talk.
Yeah. We are. Is that
actually,
it? That's the target. And we don't hit the targets, then that's it. We're not bothering.
We had to hit it by today. We set our
Not
target.
getting out tomorrow.
Yeah.
Just leave it.
Are you enjoying it over here so far?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I'm loving it, apart from the fact San Diego is very cloudy at the moment.
Do you know when people think you're saying it like that on purpose?
I am.
Well, was it the commentator the other day called Jason Sanchez?
What, was he watching Paddock or something?
I know, yeah.
It was an accident.
You did that, didn't you? Did you
Yeah.
start that? He
Well,
started that.
I don't know.
I've seen him about 5 times in the last 24 hours as well. I need to ask him about it.
No doubt you will. Loads of people saying happy birthday, Joe.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Getting a lot of love.
Thank
the
you.
usual suspects in there as well. Santa Notch is in there. He says, I remember that 1983 podcast. 3 of you were embryos.
What are we talking about today, Jay?
Talk about Harry Kane, Rasmus Hojlund, Kylian Mbappe, that sort of thing. Because it looked like we were going to get Rasmus Hojlund, and it probably still does. And then all of a sudden, Jamie Jackson from The Guardian weighs in with a bit of the older Harry Kane.
Jamie.
Our old JJ, Okocha, says that Harry Kane could be coming to Manchester United. And we're not getting Kylian Mbappe, let's have it right. People just putting Man United and Kylian Mbappe in a headline.
I think I'd
sure?
like to talk. Once
we
we've gone
should
past
be
the
getting
realistic stuff.
Yeah, we should be getting him, is my point.
Yeah.
We'll start with Harry Kane because that's the one
drinking,
that's sort of breaking news.
Yeah.
It could be back on. I think Mr. Howson had it in your news this morning, didn't you?
Yeah, I can't rule this out.
That worries me.
Yeah, because I think that, as multiple people have said, Ten Hag's first choice would be Harry Kane.
Mm-hmm.
And Harry Kane makes so much sense. You dunk him into this United side, it definitely levels us up. Rasmus Hojlund coming into this United side is like, okay, let's see what the kid's got. But Harry Kane, you go, I'm going to put a goal figure on this, and I think he'll hit it. You're not going to do that with Hojlund. You're just going to like open mind, see what he does, see how he adapts. Harry Kane, you're going to expect like, I think it'd be like 27, 28, maybe even 30 goals across the full season.
100%.
So you can't rule it out because he obviously wants to leave. Tottenham clearly have now been told that they have to sell him prior to him running his contract down. So the opportunity is there. Where's he going to go? Bayern Munich, I think you nailed this the other day when you said Bayern Munich don't normally start gassing players up and talking publicly about them.
You don't see him in long, drawn-out transfer sagas, do you, ever?
Which means that this is probably nonsense, that he's as close to a Bayern Munich as people think.
But does the Tuchel collection that mean it could be true because he's had that experience in the Premier League, probably met Kane a few times, had a discussion. Now that kind of makes the conversations to him smoother. But I do get what you're saying, like Bayern Munich very rarely, they go first bid, second bid, and forget it. We don't, you know.
I don't think
you very rarely even hear that.
Yeah, I was going to say Bayern Munich go, we signed these lot.
Yeah.
Do you think that it plays into, or the idea of him breaking that Premier League record could have any factor in it? Do you think that matters to him?
There's
more
no way
than
that's
getting
not
a
a
guaranteed Bundesliga.
Yeah, because, okay, winning the Bundesliga, still winning the Bundesliga.
Yeah.
But when he looks back on his whole career, no one's going to be like, wow, you took a team from absolutely, where did he come last year? Oh, right. Yeah.
Could he not think it though? If he makes the difference in the Champions League for them, and they get a tap in of the league, he could potentially be up for Ballon d'Or though.
Yeah, that's
but
not a bad shout.
Generally, Bayern Munich players don't, even when they deserve it, win the Ballon d'Or.
That's
They
true.
never-
Yeah,
He's
Lewandowski
not
had
going
a
to outdo
surreal
Lewandowski.
season.
So.
He was a bit unlucky on Lewandowski.
He probably would have won it.
He would have won it if it
But
weren't for COVID.
I think it's like you said, it's got to play a role, that Premier League record. And all the people saying, "Oh, he could go to Bayern for 2 years and come back." He couldn't. He's 30. He needs 60 more goals. So he's got to get what is it? 50 more goals he needs, something like that. So he's got to get an average of 20 goals a season for 3 years. He's not going to. I don't think he's going to get that between the age of 33 and 36. If he's going to do it, I don't think he can leave the Premier League. And the question is, how much does he value trophies over that? United, you've got a good chance of winning a trophy in the next 4 years, almost certainly. You know, you look over the last 30 years, we tend to win a trophy more than every 4 years. But between the last one and the one before was 6 years, so it's not a guarantee.
I think United have played it well. You know, I've been sitting there thinking for a while that something's going to kick off again with Harry Kane.
Yeah.
And I think United have played it perfectly. They've gone, we don't want you anyway.
Yeah, we're going to get this kid.
We're going to get this kid here.
Yeah.
And now he's forced to kick off. Because look, what are his other options in the Premier League? Manchester City aren't going to sign him now. They got Erling and Julian Alvarez. Chelsea, very unlikely.
I wouldn't rule it out.
Chelsea, very unlikely.
I worry about that.
Pep's like, you know,
Arsenal,
I'm
very
doing
unlikely.
miracles here with no strikers. I mean, apart from them three, but apart from them three, I ain't got anyone.
Imagine if he replaces Julian Alvarez with Harry Kane.
Don't know what I think
You
about.
know what I mean? I have expected us to
Yeah.
kind of come back in for him, but I thought it'd be a case that the ownership situation gets dealt with later in the window.
Okay.
And then the new owners go, yeah, here's 100 mil, go get him.
Marquee
But
signing.
looks like that's not going to happen. So, no, it's a weird one. He has to force it. I think he's a bottle job.
Well, the thing is, right, all this has come about, and what Jamie Jackson mentioned is article.
Maxson.
Jamie Maxson, it's his brother. He said that United could come in for him because the owners of Spurs are saying to Levy, you've got to sell him. You can't let him go for nothing in the summer. So it's out of Daniel Levy's hands, basically. He's been forced into selling him, which is why people think, well, okay, if United are offering a lot of money for him, then our
Have
Spurs
we
going to
got
say
a lot
no.
of money?
That's a good question.
From what journalists we've spoken to, the point was always, we've got X, which is like 100 to 120.
Yeah.
And then if some significant long-term target comes up, we'll sort of see what we can do about and obviously FFP is, but it's not a firm line, is it? FFP.
Because there's
It's
talk
a sort
about
of a
Anthony
grey line.
Elanga, right?
Yeah.
There's talk about Dean Henderson.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
both seemingly going to go to Forest for a combined fee of around 35 million,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So let's say that happened, you've raised another 35 million.
Okay.
How much have we spent so far? About 100?
I don't think you can do the maths on it this simply because they get amortised over the length of the contract. You're
That's
also
true.
paying off other contracts from the last 10 years, probably.
We've probably only
There's-
spent
there's-
50 million this
There's a
summer.
lot of players
It's
that
all-
we can get rid of for anything between 15 and 25, 30 million. There's
Plus
like
their
7
wages as
players
well.
we could do that with. Yeah. If you look at McTominay, Maguire, Martial, Elanga.
Probably one of Fred or McTominay.
Yeah. There's like we have got a lot of squad
Fred
players.
not coming on tour is such an obvious.
Yeah.
Yeah, they said it was a personal thing, didn't they? He's going to join later, but I
He has
don't
been
know.
linked with Fulham, though, hasn't he?
Yeah.
And he had that conversation with Marco Silva. But again, the fees that we get linked with for them is like 10 million. You're like, Fred's worth more than that, man.
I think
Definitely he's 20, isn't he?
Yeah, I think United
75
won.
though, isn't he?
75.
Yeah, and he's
78.
got 1 year left. Viran Shetty, welcome to the first team. He's joined the membership. Make sure you check out the member section. Extra content, behind the scenes stuff coming from the tour as well. Abhinav Verma says, does Saudi really want to give us 20 million for Bailly? Eric Bailly could be going to Saudi.
I saw that yesterday.
20 million seems
No,
quite a
especially
lot.
when you're like,
I know
okay,
Saudi,
so
but-
Tellers was 4.
Yeah,
But didn't we get 10?
That feels like it was a little bit
I'm not
undercut.
sure. I thought it was.
Where do you go
4,
then
maybe
for the
Van Dijk.
perma-injured Eric Bailly being like 5 times as much?
I don't see that happening. That can't be right.
Especially when we were linked with selling him for 2 million.
Especially when so they're doing that and then also throwing around 260 million and 60 million a month. By the way, it has to be a minimum 2-year contract for him to get it tax-free. So that would mean Kylian Mbappe is getting paid 1.5 billion.
Let's talk about that, right? Because all right, he's been like people are putting.
He's
going
gonna
to
come back and buy
United
PSG.
could try and get him. Well, we're not going to have that money,
So
are
just
we?
my
That's
fucking club.
just not happening. Do you see him going to Saudi? Does anyone see Kylian Mbappe going and spending 2 years of his peak career
Yeah, he's already
in
shown that he's
a league that's not?
he's a
very
man
good?
that will be swayed by the money.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
Okay.
He took what at PSG 400, 500 grand a
Was
week,
that
something
not-
ridiculous like that, and he rejected his dream move to Real Madrid for that. So there's no way he goes. And bro, fair play to you. Do you know what I mean?
No,
Someone
no,
offer
I'm
you
not
them
knocking
figures,
people taking money.
1.5 billion.
Like, bro, how
But,
can you
but
say
I,
no?
I get your point. But like playing in your home country, which is still a decent standard, and
I mean, yeah, they got to a
it's
Champions
big-
League final.
Yeah, it's the big difference going to Saudi Arabia where it's like.
Is it?
No, but is
Saudi
it
Arabia
now?
probably more competitive right now with all the players over
Do you,
there.
That's
do
a
you
fair
know the
point.
level of
Players
tractor you
like
can get
it.
for that Farmers League with 1.5 bill?
Yeah,
You'd have a proper Lamborghini tractor.
That's just so much as well. Because if you think of his career, you talk about footballers becoming billionaires toward their end of the career. Like, I remember 3 or 4 years ago, maybe a bit longer, but Ronaldo, who's been the biggest footballer in the world marketing wise for
Yeah.
a decade, he became a billionaire, didn't he? He can do that in 2 years by the time he's 26. That's not just like, oh, it's a bit more money. It's like a career's worth of money in 2 years.
And also,
that's so hard to turn down.
unlike Kane, where you're saying he can't go away for a couple of years, come back and break. Mbappe can still come back, can't he?
And Mbappe
don't
Go
know.
Saudi, score 100 goals a
Yeah.
season.
Yeah.
and come
I know
back.
that's a
Or-
PSG or whatever.
Look how much the league is developing and how many players are going to the league.
Yeah.
It seemed mental when Ronaldo went, and then it seemed mental when a couple of others joined him. the longer this goes on, the less mental it's going to seem. But like
Yeah.
he said this morning, like, where did he get the figures from? How's Jordan Henderson just pulled up 700 grand a week?
He's like, what's the negotiations on that? He would have taken 350.
Yeah.
And they've got actually, here's 700. The agent's probably there like,
Where they pulled the figure of 60 million a month for Mbappe from?
I imagine Jordan
There's some
Henderson's
logic to it. Somewhere,
agent went in there with like 200 grand written on a piece of paper. And on this piece of paper, I've got our demands.
Yeah.
And he went,
Wow.
700 grand, and then he went, just put the piece of
Is
paper
it
back
wet
in his
as well?
pocket.
Yeah,
Never
like,
even
wet piece of
announced it.
paper was when he finished with it.
Is Rizdale out in Saudi Arabia? Is anyone?
Al
is anyone
Ridsdale's running all the transfers.
Mate, he was ace, wasn't
Ali Al Ridsdale.
he? Hey, fair play to him for trying to cripple Leeds forever. Garlic Bread Man says, a very happy birthday to Joe. You'd expect him to wear something cool like
Garlic
Adams,
man.
but he isn't. Sad, needs to up his game. Well, that
I will
started
do-
very
Wait,
well.
have you seen these short
I will
shorts
do,
down
I
here?
will do
Yeah.
tonight for my birthday.
Mac is
meal.
getting a lot of love for his top. Bill O'Reilly
It's a
says,
tap in it, really.
make a wish, boys and girls. The Musketeers are reunited. Our man says,
Reunited.
I can confirm Steve and McCullough are different people.
Yeah.
Right, well, there you go. That's cleared up that one.
Me and him had a scrap about 2 years ago. That's why proper fight.
Yeah,
Really?
Punch
Who
each
won?
other up and that.
Punched each other up. I
Did
won.
you?
Can you believe it?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
We patched things up in the jacuzzi.
Oh, I wonder
Yeah.
what you're up to.
Plug things up.
That explains
I
a
want
lot.
to talk more about Mbappe.
That is a joke for you idiots at home.
Is it
I
though?
want to talk more about Mbappe in a second, but before that, I think we should talk about today's sponsor, Manscaped.
Oh, he's always so professional.
God.
Yes,
Right,
right.
real quick, we get 5,000 likes. I'll do Macca's big ass hairy legs right here on air.
My middle.
No, not
You're very
Talk
middle
to me
leg.
about Manscaped, Jay.
Oh, well, listen, as you well know, it is smooth sack summer, and Manscaped have got you covered. Like they've got 8 million men worldwide covered as well,
bad, is
because
it?
they have got the performance package 4.0. Forget your 3.0s.
No.
Nonsense, yeah.
Disgusting.
You want your 4.0. For that, you got your weed whacker, you've got your crop reviver, you've got your ball toner.
I'll be whacking all the weeds.
Exactly. You've got your shed boxers. Not your shed boxers, no, you haven't. You've got your boxers, boxer briefs,
Yeah.
and your shed travel bag.
Yeah.
Yeah. You've got the anti-chafing technology. Yeah, go on.
And you've also got
Oh, you're not
this.
going to ask me the question?
Oh, sorry. How was your anti-chafing?
She's on tablets. Go
Good. And you've also got this, the jewel in the crown.
on. Yes.
Yeah. Look at this. Is my personal piece. I've been using this
Is it?
on my Spudleys and my Dudleys. You actually
it's
smell.
lovely.
You are actually smelling my bollocks,
Oh.
Jay. This is my.
Wow.
This is my.
I'll tell you what, it's like being back on it.
It don't even smell that bad, to be fair. This is my actual one that I've been using for about 2
Keep it
years.
away from
So thank you very much to Manscaped. But I mean, it was
That has
buzzing.
been in the deep, dark crevices
That has
of
been
Joe Smith.
Yeah,
This has been
has-
everywhere.
the Bermuda
This
Triangle.
This has genuinely been
of
some
pubes.
places that no other people have been. This has seen the Mariana Trench of Joe Smith, the deepest parts of my existence. So make sure you check out Manscaped. You get 20% off and
Once
free
it's
shipping
in, didn't it?
with the code Paddock Tour.
Paddock
What's
Tour.
the code again? Well, Paddock are on tour, so it's Paddock Tour. So go to manscaped.com and use the code
We're
Paddock
still
Tour
trying to get that
for
Doomy
20%
Gooch
off
code, but it's
and
not happening.
free shipping. The link is in the description as well, so you don't even need to
Where's
remember
their
it.
HQ?
Just go and check it out.
Is it round here?
Yeah.
Might
Is
be,
it?
innit?
We might be having a little meet up with a Manscaped fella while we're down here.
Yes.
But make sure you check out Manscaped. Thank you very much.
Hey. Can I just ask? Do you? Let's just get this out of the way. Do you see there's any way, with a new ownership or anything like that, of Mbappe ended up at United? Let's just deal with that. Don't look at me like that. I'm asking a question. so
I
you can
do.
answer it.
I do because, like I said, I have my doubts on the separation of Sheikh Al Jassim
Just a few.
and Qatar
Right. Okay.
as a what's it like? Is it the same thing? Is it the left hand versus the right hand? Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I have my doubts on that. Obviously, there's zero evidence either way at the moment. And if he's so keen on leaving PSG, I can think the right hand talks to the left hand and moves him over, no harm, no foul, and doesn't
Okay.
strengthen anybody else's sort of thingy.
Like Newcastle have just done with St. Maximin.
Allegedly, Joe,
Yeah.
Could you imagine if it was like 10 million we signed him for?
on loan. United got him on loan.
I love that.
Well,
And
no,
they're not
we-
paying his wages.
We buy him. we buy him
Elanga goes the other way.
yeah, we buy him for 200
Right.
million and we sell Elanga for 200.
Yeah, it's just like
Proper Barcelona
all
style.
above board, all legit.
Barcelona style of
Yeah.
play.
Other
Nice.
than that, though, isn't it absolutely mental that Man United, who are
If
one
it's
of
the Glazers,
richest,
it's not gonna
one of the
happen.
richest clubs in the world, one of the biggest clubs in the world, even if you just bring in some of the other ones, you bring in City, you bring in Chelsea, you bring in Arsenal, you bring in Real Madrid, no one can even come close
I wouldn't want Mbappe.
to
at that
matching
price,
half of what Saudi can
no.
offer.
I wouldn't want Mbappe.
You wouldn't.
Isn't that a phenomenal?
60 million a month, Joe.
But what a position
all that
football is
nonsense,
in
man.
now.
Go on,
Next
Marco.
5 years will be
why,
crazy.
why would you
Yeah.
want him? Because people just go
Look, he's an
Mbappe at all
unreal
costs.
player, yeah,
but you'll say
unreal.
no.
But at the same time, if you're spending $250 million on someone and the rest in terms of wages, the only way that goes is it's failing. I can't see that being a success. He's got to score 100 goals a season for
But what
anyone
even
to
is a
like.
success? Because the Champions League
Yeah,
don't
even
get
if
you
he
that
won,
money.
even if he won a title,
I
you'd
also
probably
don't
go, that's
think-
a success.
You know, if we sign Kane,
Yeah,
we go, ooh, might win the league, yeah.
yeah.
If we sign Mbappe, I don't even feel that way.
Really?
No, because I can see. I think he's right. People can't separate the fact that footballers do what they do for 90 minutes on the football pitch.
Yeah.
But what they do for the other 100 hours of their existence in and around the club matters and impacts how that team functions and performs.
Yeah.
Ten Hag's like, "Oi, you little fuck, get running," and he's like, "Mate, I'm on 60 million a month. Do you know what I'm doing tonight?" Like, he's not going to run.
If you don't want to.
No,
Yeah.
and he's like, "I'm worth $250 million." What
Does that impact the dressing room as well?
Exactly.
Well, he saw it a little bit, didn't we? When Alexis Sanchez came in on massive money, and then it was like
Ronaldo
Pogba, De Gea.
even?
But you're also seeing the
And
way
everyone
he
like,
sort
hang on
of
a minute.
acts at PSG, and it didn't help that Messi came with that sort of flavour as well, where he was like, he looked at me weird.
It's always the case, though, isn't it? The teams that have assembled the most expensive squads in history typically aren't the most successful teams in their
People
league.
remember the Galacticos fondly.
Yeah.
They didn't win the Champions League or nothing.
Nah,
Well,
it
like
took
one
them a while.
title,
Like, yeah,
fucking half a Benitez
because he
Valencia
got rid
was
of like
beating them.
Yeah.
Makelele and brought in,
But that's-
Zidane, Figo, and everything. It didn't work.
And
for
PSG
about
are the
5
perfect
years.
example. If you're on about Mbappe, they've literally got Ramos, Hakimi, Donnarumma, Messi, Neymar, Mbappe, everyone, Verratti, like all these players, and not won a Champions League, and not even won their league every year when they're outspending everyone else in the league by 10 times.
Exactly.
Like it's about, like you said, it's you think of it as a workplace rather than just 11 lads on a pitch.
For 90
if
minutes.
it's a horrible
Look,
environment where
He works for France.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, he's able to drill down and focus for it. Whether it's pride in the jersey or whatever it is,
Yeah.
Mbappe for France, you got no problem with him. You can't. There's zero doubts about it, and I don't think there's any doubts about his ability. But I think that the dressing room balance is so important to how a team performs, and I think you bringing him in absolutely destroys it.
Do you think there's a pathway or any scenario where he goes to someone like Sir? Because they're FFP now.
Won't rule
I know
anything
To where, sorry?
City. I know it's like, oh, well, they've got Erling Haaland, but
I wouldn't rule anything out.
that
My
for me,
gut feeling
is
thinks
a
that he
small
ends up
possibility.
at Real Madrid.
Though, couldn't he?
What?
He could play on the left. With Haaland.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
It's like
He can play anywhere across the front
it's
three. He's a
doable.
talented footballer.
And
I think
them,
somehow
innit?
by the end of the window he's a Real Madrid player. Don't know if that's on loan. Don't know if that's a little bit shaded. Don't know what. I don't know how. I don't think he's going to Saudi, but I wouldn't rule it out entirely because that sort of money definitely changes things. And him being the age he is, the profile he is, changes things as well. That Saudi league is going to have such an impact on world football. We saw Chelsea raise the football inflation through the roof a little bit.
I thought you were going to say raise the bar. Then I was about to say, what's he on about?
This is just a question. I kind of agree with you as well. I think this Saudi thing could change things. But did we not see an attempt from China similarly?
Yeah, and then, but there was never the exodus. There was like a couple of players here and there, like Anelka late on in his
Hulk and all
career.
that.
yeah,
and
Hulk,
stuff.
Oscar,
Was it?
like
But
it
they
wasn't-
had the issue where they stopped paying wages. They couldn't pay the wages
Yeah,
anymore.
okay.
as
So
well.
the Chinese government got involved and went,
Yeah.
yeah, we decided we don't like this anymore. So now there's like all 11 players have to be
Wouldn't you?
Chinese.
Whereas this
I'd be
is
like,
the
I need
Saudi
this money up
government
front,
doing
you know.
Yeah, I'm not
If I'm
risking
coming
it.
over
Yeah.
here, I need that.
I need my quarter
Quarter
of a billion.
Listen,
Yeah.
if I sign a contract that's 60 million a month, I've already spent 3 billion.
Yeah.
So you need to start paying the man.
I'm broke.
Yeah, listen, I'm skint.
and I don't know if anyone's
I've
gonna
already
know,
owed it out.
if anyone's going to know the answer to this, and maybe will in the comments. Is the Saudi league within the sort of FIFA boundaries? Who runs FFP? Is
It's
that UEFA
FIFA, yeah,
or is that
'cause
FIFA?
Saudi
No,
are
no,
part
it's
of FIFA.
all the individual leagues sort of do it.
So they've all just agreed to it in Europe.
Sort of.
So is there no one at all
didn't
that can
agree.
check the Saudi league spending in any way?
No.
Fucking hell.
Because it does because that cannot be a thing.
Because it's obviously not
You
profitable,
can't
is
spend $250 million and that be a thing. on
they
one
fucking
player,
can.
sorry. Yeah, that's what I mean.
And
Sorry.
they fucking are.
Yeah. Loads of people in the comments. Let us know what you think. Michael Murphy says, I met all you guys in the MetLife. I'm a big fan. I was happy to meet you guys. It's been great meeting all the
Yo,
American fans
it's
over there.
nuts, you know.
over here as well. Sorry.
It's absolutely nuts.
Yeah.
Like, poor Steve, it took him so many selfies, he just had to sit down on his own
needed
for a
a
bit and
breather,
have a
didn't
minute.
Took me an hour to read a
Right.
monologue.
Yeah.
I
says
went
it all.
to, we were trying to film a little clip for a video where we were giving away a Bruno shirt. And as we were walking around to try and do it, like, it was just, it's amazing.
Yeah.
I love it. But it was like, just impossible. you
It
know what I
was
mean? It's like-
in a good way.
Yeah.
It brings it home as well when
was
you.
And we never want to
so
leave anyone
fucking
out
hot
because
and all.
I know, yeah. It
because
was
we
warm.
we don't usually get praise and love and all that kind of stuff. So it's nice. when it
I
happens.
thought it was amazing.
It was.
That tailgate was so good.
It was.
I kept trying to get food off everyone, but it wasn't for us. Because like they were giving out free beers and stuff. You had your wristband, you get free beers, and everyone was just getting beers. And then I saw some little food in a tray, and I was like, "Is this free food?" And they were like, no, this is for the church. I was like, okay, sorry everyone, I didn't mean
You
to.
could have paid for it, you know.
No, I couldn't. I said,
Put
can I
your
buy
hand in
some?
your
He said,
pocket,
no,
you
you
mock.
have to have a different colour wristband, which you can't buy. Money can't buy it. You have to be part of the church.
Disco Stew says
Didn't they see your
go on.
face?
I know, I should let the hair down.
You are the church.
Exactly. Disco Stew says Paddock FC will give Mbappe half-time homages if he signs.
No promises.
Yeah. Abhinav Verma says, I think the Saudis offering mad money for Mbappe is basically geopolitical in nature. They don't get along well, and this is
That's
an
true.
ego move. Yeah, there is sort of talk in there that this is all.
That's true.
Someone explained to me
very
when I was in the Middle
political,
East
what's going on over there. Well, you're
the way Qatar and Saudi, UAE, Dubai, all these places, and Bahrain even, are all going to. They're basically oil-based economies at the moment, but they're all trying to flip it into tourism-based stuff. And that's why I thought it was really interesting. You never really saw any media negative about UAE when they came in. There was a fair bit of media started talking about Saudi when they came in with Newcastle. Not enough, but there was some. There's been a fair bit with Qatar, probably because of United.
Yeah.
But it feels like sometimes are Saudi Arabia pushing the anti-Qatar narrative? Is Qatar pushing an anti-UAE narrative? Like, there's games at play here that we probably aren't fully entirely aware of. And yeah, there is geopolitics going into this. This is the new front line almost.
It kind of feels like maybe Saudi went as like, oh, Qatar about to get Man United. Watch this. Look at our league.
It's the way that it's just spun out of nowhere.
Like,
Check
it's
this
all
league
gone
out.
popping off
There wasn't
all
like
of a
talk
sudden.
of this for the last 6 months, was it? It was like it popped off about 3 weeks ago and then has just redlined.
It's
Because
yeah.
Qatar getting Manchester United is, someone owning United, that is just...
It's a game
That's having the
changer.
biggest
It's a
yacht
game
on
changer.
the, you know what I mean?
Like,
Like at the port or
you've said
whatever.
it a few times. Like PSG's one thing, City and Newcastle are another. United is
We're
one of the elites.
We're the
football
biggest buyable
brands.
football
And
club
you
in the
can't
world.
buy Real
Are we
Madrid.
buyable?
You
Well,
can't buy Real
Someone's
Madrid. You
pissing
can't buy
trying
Bayern
and he
Munich.
ain't selling. How'd you put some up for sale and not sell? What are you doing?
Did you see him, by the way, the other day when you was doing press stuff?
Too late, he'd gone past me.
That's.
because
I'm relieved. I'm not gonna lie.
I'd have door-stopped the shit out of him and we might have been revoked.
Yeah, exactly.
He being
Sorry, Avram Glazer.
Ponytail, baldy face.
Yeah, ponytail body face was knocking around the press
How
bit
tall
at
is
the
it?
same time as Stephen Alson, and I was worried.
who's tall,
Yeah, so
6'1".
he's
I tell you
6'1".
what, though, yeah, there was some elite spotting from Joe. Again, a bit too late for us to do anything. Not here's the other thing as well.
Go on.
I would have doorstepped him,
I know that.
and I would have got piped.
Topless.
Entirely
Yeah, yes.
piped. Yeah. Why has this man got his boobs out? Like,
Yeah, get off me.
But you still got to do it.
Yeah.
I still feel obligated to do it. And
Have to.
I'd have just said to him, like, why aren't you selling the club?
Yeah.
You're selling the club, but you're not selling the club.
You can do that.
The
as well,
fans
it's not-
deserve to know, baldy face.
But it's when you don't get the
Ponytail,
reaction
baldy
that you
face.
want that worries me,
Yeah,
because you
and
might
then
lose your
it's
temper. Yeah.
Um,
Get him out of that headlock. Get off. Shut up.
I need 10 seconds. The Joe, though, some elite spotting. He saw a lesser spotted Darcy Glazer.
the Darcy
The
Glazer.
Darcy Glazer, the one we
What
always
past us
forget
now?
There was
about.
a lady walked past us and just she did have security and she
Yeah.
did look loaded.
Yeah.
She needed to look about 1 billion heavier though, I reckon. That would look good on her.
Yeah.
She walked past us and went, I think that was Darcy Glazer. I was like, I have no idea what
I had
Darcy
to Google
Glazer
it,
looks
but
like.
it wasn't.
Yeah.
her.
You follow
By the
them all
time we
on Instagram,
Googled it,
don't
we
you?
went, yeah, that was her.
Yeah,
Fuck.
on a burner.
She wouldn't have done the same sort of views as like ponytail baldy face though, because everyone
She's-
knows what that weird looking fuck
And
looks
also,
like.
I think
Yeah.
she's there. There's like Nigel and like Oscar
Trevor
and all that.
and
The ones who are
Duncan
like
and-
they've got a
you know what
much
I mean?
smaller
Simon,
percentage.
Duncan.
Brian from
Shaniqua.
E17.
Yeah,
and Lee.
James, Mark. They're all there.
They,
aren't there? There's so many of them.
And I believe as well, she's actually one that's like, hey, let's sell this
She's
shit
the one who wants
and
to go.
leave. Yeah.
Yeah, she's got no interest.
She's the
No,
one
none
that
of them
we
have got an
might
interest in the
sort
club.
of like.
All the suggestion is that it's Avram and Joel that are the ones who are like, maybe we
Ponytail
should
baldy
stick
face.
around.
Ponytail baldy face wants to stick around. Joel
And just
who's
baldy face,
the-
baldy face.
Yeah, baldy face.
No, he's got like a weird sort of buzz cut sort of affair.
Really?
No.
Yeah, pretty sure. He's the one that can't make a decision to save his life. Like any ketchup on mayonnaise. Oh shit.
I'll come back
I
in a
don't
bit.
think that man's ever had mayonnaise.
Do you not reckon? Danny Shields
Spicy though.
says the Asian Football Confederation, the equivalent of UEFA, does not have FFP equivalent rules. They can do what they want, essentially.
Clearly.
Because it was like you said, it was the
Yeah.
Chinese government
I mean,
that
people-
enforced the caps there, wasn't it?
Teams who have FFP rules do what they want.
But they don't do this much.
I love how
what they
we
want.
got like done. Oh,
Yeah, we
COVID.
paid a fine, didn't we, the other day?
City just
Like,
kick it
how's
into
that
the long
happening?
grass all
Do
the
you know why we
time.
paid a fine?
Because
We didn't
not.
earn as much,
Yeah.
and we submitted our books. It was like, yeah, we didn't earn as much as we should, and it was like, well, in that case, you've gone over your FFP allocation during COVID. Don't you remember all that when the spicy cough was doing the rounds? And then we paid our fine.
Yes. Benjamin Metier says, can't make it to UnitedCon, but hoping to catch you guys in Vegas anyway. Yeah, we're going to be all over this tour, by the way. We're going to be in Houston. We're going to be
Vegas
obviously.
gonna be
Joe's on
sick.
stage at Spearmint Rhino Saturday
Yes.
night at 11:15.
So bring your ones, bring your dollars.
Stuff mini stock.
Rasmus Hojlund. We spoke about Mbappe, which probably ain't happening. Kane, doubtful. Hojlund looks like the one that
Does
is
it?
most likely. Well, it did a few days ago. I
They're
know
throwing
it all
all
changes.
sorts of like
Go on, talk to me.
big dollar amounts around, aren't they?
86 million or so. Is that?
He's not 86 million.
He's not.
is
What for
Course he
you?
ain't.
No. What for you would be a fair amount?
And 50 something, like anything from 50 to 50.
We love an add-on, don't
But
we?
it's mad, really, even that
Could have
like.
50 in.
Similar to Nana
10.
price, you know.
But then
Yeah.
45 plus add-ons,
Add-ons.
or you know, something like
But
Yeah,
that.
we're
that's-
not going
that's
to get
all
for
right.
that though. No. Like if you think, I
He's
know
a
Mason
fucking-
Mount isn't a
he's
striker.
He knows his way around a deadlift.
Mason Mount doesn't like get massive numbers because he's not a goal scorer. I know that brings the most money in. But Mason Mount is actually a Premier League proven player who we know is very good, who's won a Champions League, and he was 55 million. How can we talk about?
We also had to buy him off Chelsea. Atalanta
No,
are a selling club.
Yeah, well,
We also gave him
But it
30
doesn't
million
mean
for
that-
Diallo, so that we probably in a little bit of profit with
you
them.
think that Diallo
it's just
deal?
mad though. That
Maybe
he's
that's
going to
why.
cost 30
Maybe they're
million.
like, hey,
more.
Diallo
He
played
played
like
an hour.
7
He
times.
played an hour, didn't he, of
7 minutes.
professional football, and we gave him up to 37 million. So they're probably feeling like.
And that's what
they
we're
can
doing
get
at the moment.
decent
We're
money for
trying
it.
to readjust from Ed Woodward going, how much you want? All right, cool, here it is. To now
I
going,
brought a bit extra just because.
That is literally
Yeah.
the transfer
do you know what I
negotiation
mean?
of Ed Woodward,
To
isn't it?
now going, well, actually, we're going to negotiate this out. We're
Yeah.
going to long it out. We're going to rely on the players wanting to come to Manchester United so much. Because before it was, we'll make them an offer they can't refuse.
Yeah.
Even if they're about to join City or about to join, we'll just knock their
blow
balls
it out
off.
of the water.
just keep
We
the
did that all
change as
time.
well.
And
Yeah,
now
it
it's
would
like, no, we want players that want to join us,
Yeah.
and we can force their club to sell at a lower rate, which I
Everyone's
think
still got
helps.
a pamphlet that Ed sent.
Yeah.
I think that is a
Yeah.
massive thing though, getting players that want to join us, because Mount clearly did. Onana
Onana,
clearly
yep.
did. Hoyland clearly seems to want to. Like that is so big when you talk about the other 100 hours a week where the players are around each other, living as United players. It might give you. It's not going to bring you 20% extra, but it might give you 3 or 4% extra. The fact that you genuinely care about what you're doing, and if everyone's bringing an extra 3 or 4%, that can win you a few extra games.
I
this
do think
season. That
Hoyland's
can
the
make
way
the
forward,
difference.
though. You know,
I wanted to
Maybe
ask
it
you that.
is,
Would
yeah.
you, if it was a choice between Kane and Hojlund, would you go for Kane?
because everyone got no. Ooh,
Yeah, I'm going.
I'd go for Kane. But
Would ya?
listen,
Okay.
I'm glad we're going for Hojlund as an alternative because
Right.
you know when Moises Caicedo were trying to go, there was rumors linking us to him,
A few
and everyone
years-
was like,
recently, or
why didn't we
back
buy him
in
for
the day?
4 million?
Yeah, yeah,
And I know Hojlund's not 4 million, but
He's like 80.
yeah, but in 2 years he might be
Bargain.
120
Yeah,
because
yeah,
he's bagged 50 goals a season or something.
Yeah.
And I know this isn't the way to judge things. Won me the Champions League on Football Manager.
Well, I think that's the
So-
perfect way to judge things.
So he's already
I think it's-
justified probably
yeah.
30 million. at
Yeah,
his price
exactly.
tag.
That's
Isn't it?
scientific.
Where does Football Manager get it wrong?
Never.
Good point.
There isn't a club in the world that employs more scouts than Football Manager.
There you go then. Aye. Everyone thinks Kane, yeah. Get Kane over Hojlund.
What's the
But
comment saying?
let us know in the comments as well.
Can
Would
we
you
do a
rather?
poll?
Sorry.
Can we do a poll?
Yeah, let's do a poll. Should we do a poll? Kane or Hojlund? Because the obvious one with Kane is you guaranteed 30 goals next season.
But you're
with-
not.
I think. Come
You're
on.
not. No one's guaranteed anything.
All right.
But you
It's
should get
highly
your 30
All
likely.
comps.
It's
If he
highly
stays
likely.
fit, you're
yeah.
getting
Guaranteed.
goals.
No,
Yeah,
guaranteed.
it's highly
Nothing's
likely
guaranteed.
then he will hit 30 goals
But
if
I
he
think
stays
he
fit.
It's more likely than not.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
I
I
don't
hate-
feel you're getting them numbers.
You
with
can't
Hojlund.
say absolutes, boys. So you say, yeah, I'd be confident of him scoring 30 goals.
Nice.
But he doesn't guarantee 30 goals.
Let me rephrase
No,
it.
if-
I'll be
So
So if he
confident.
scores
I'll be-
29, what do we do? Get our fucking
I'll be,
money back,
I'll,
Jay?
I'll be
Get a
confident.
grip.
I'll be
Get a
confident.
grip.
I'll be confident of him getting 30 goals.
There you
but
go.
If he
it's not
scored
guaranteed
29
it.
goals, you run around saying he scored 30.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't.
We all do.
Yeah.
What, you,
Practically.
we can add up, you know.
Uh,
Round up.
Do you know? Don't you know anything about fractions?
Basically, like a goal.
He's 29 until he's 30. Aaron Moore says, "What about Dublin, Jay? We're not going to be in Dublin."
I am.
Oh, you are. Sorry, I'm telling lies. In fact, you two are, aren't you?
Oh, you coming here?
I've already booked my flight.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
going to be in
you putting a
Dublin
shirt on or what?
doing some stuff,
Yeah.
and you're going to be in
There you
Dublin
go.
with your football
There's an
team.
exclusive.
So those two are
Macca's on the bench in Dublin.
I'm not coming in.
on the bench. Hey, thought you were good at football. On the bench. Come on, mate.
Mate,
Have a
I'm on
word.
the Guinness in my half-time team.
I know
so
the manager.
God.
Maybe even
Oh,
the start.
God.
And he's
Oh.
putting me on the bench.
Oh no, that's a disgrace.
It's a disgrace.
Seriously.
Put a vote in there.
What about,
Adam
57%.
starts, yes and yes.
By
Listen,
the
if
way.
we get 250 in the stadium, I'll start him.
250. You're going to get 250, aren't you?
Turn him away.
Hey, come on. On the
Put
poll,
the circus music on when I'm running around.
57%. 57% want
Imagine the
Kane
highlights.
on the poll, mate. Well, we're going to
I
see the
scored
highlights.
last time I put a Stretford Paddock shirt. I'm just
Did
saying.
ya?
Yeah.
Where was that?
You know, where was that?
What was that?
Well, you're the manager.
You were playing.
Yeah,
I
how
scored.
you two do not know this between you.
I am.
How do you even know you scored if you
Basically.
can't remember where it was?
Yeah.
He was on a football pitch.
Right, okay.
Where?
Well,
And I
that clears that
scored.
up there.
All right, we
It
narrowed
was-
that down. No
it was
problem.
a football pitch.
And I was-
I think
Sorted.
it was a fucking tennis court.
Somewhere close to the office.
There you go.
Wasn't it?
When?
Scranton,
Oh, did
Pennsylvania.
you do the? Did it was a
Yeah,
a thing and that?
Scored.
All right,
Was it
okay.
someone like selling shoes? or
Could we be a
something?
bit more vague with this conversation?
I know, yeah, this is like talking to me.
Basically,
grandma.
Seven-a-side tournament.
What, do I like this film?
Shoes.
Have I seen it
Was it
before?
size?
I am the
Something like
Bobby
that?
Charlton of
Size or
Stretford
shoe?
Paddock.
was it
Right,
called?
okay. He plays, he scores. Is there a way you could see us getting both Kane and Hojlund? Because I would like to see that, and I
Yeah.
think that's what we
We're all
should be
playing
doing.
Adam's footy manager save.
I don't want to see that because that means
Why?
I want to see it.
Oh, you
Got
mean
that
Tony M's going? Surely he's going
we're,
anyway, isn't
we're not leaving.
he? Hey, surely Tony Marshall. It's the end game now, isn't it?
No.
The talk of him going to
He's
Saudi.
pretending, he's pretending to be injured so he can ride out the transfer.
That's what you need. That's what you want from your striker.
I'll
You
be
pretend
around
to be
holding
injured
his-
so I can
holding
spend
his
some more
hamstring.
time here. Not play, just be here.
Class.
Do you see Tony Marshall sticking around? I can't
Yeah,
ask him. 'cause
I
he's-
do.
There's more chance of him joining the
it
fucking
feels like
podcast
he's-
than he is joining the fucking team.
But
Right.
it feels like he's going to be here because where's he going to go?
No, it depends on whether we sign two strikers, doesn't it?
I think
If we only
that's the
sign
thing.
one, we can't let him go.
No.
Let's say we sign Hojlund and he gets injured.
No, you missed that 45 minutes they give us.
Yeah.
But also,
So he's
Hojlund's only
holding an
20,
assist.
so he's not
But
going to start
that's
every
why
week
you need
anyway.
two, though. That's the thing. Because if you buy one and Hojlund gets
You know what
injured,
I think's
you
going to
can't
happen
rely
this
on Marshall
season? What
'cause
we're going to
he's
see a
injured all
lot.
the
I think we sign Hojlund, Kane not happen.
time. Right, okay.
Rashford starts the season through the middle.
Yeah.
Garnacho on the left or Sancho on the left.
Okay.
And then obviously Anthony on the right or whatever. I think we'll see that a lot this season. Is Rashford going through the middle?
Billy Red says, "'Twas Adam's left foot banger. Remember it well. He remembers that goal.
There
If
you
no
go.
one else does."
Left
I
foot
don't
banger. Left foot. Swoosh.
Do you see it as, you say football manager's the only way? No chance of us getting both.
Nah,
Are we just being realistic on this
Shocked
podcast?
and stunned.
Yeah. It's a shame because we should.
Angry and confused.
I
Hey,
wouldn't be angry. I'd be confused though.
little Rooney reference there. What about you, my friend, my birthday boy?
Possible in it, but where's the money coming from?
Well, do you not
You
think
can't
though, if we
just
actually had this
invent
clear out, we should be having. We could do it.
We could do it, but we've already paid slightly more for Mount, slightly more for Onana. We're probably going to
Okay.
pay slightly more for Hojlund. That's like an extra 30 million.
We're trying to get rid of our
Right.
owners, and you think we can get rid of players at the same time?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
Harry
It'd be
Maguire
great,
could
though.
bring in a fee.
It's possible, isn't it? You could get 30 million for Maguire.
You could.
You could.
Yeah,
If St.
no, you could.
Maximin's worth 30 million, then Maguire probably is.
Yeah.
Like, I think you could get 20 million for McTominay, maybe 15 for Fred,
Fucking
20 for
Arsenal
Dean
have that
Henderson.
performance
You're
from
looking at
Gabriel.
about 70 to 80 million we could get in.
You're laughing.
But it's just, it's easy
They
said than
need,
done.
they
all that,
need
innit?
some players.
Did Declan Rice play that day?
It's a rumour. It's an
I
unsubstantiated rumour.
Genuinely didn't see him once.
No,
I seen Havertz, he was crap.
How much does that midfield cost?
he's another one.
A
doing
lot
on the
less than
shoestring.
Kobe Mainoo, and he bossed
He's
them.
another one. I think they only spent about 300 million on the.
He
midfield.
spent about 250 million a summer for the last
I
3-4
know.
years.
It goes like under the radar, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's like, well done, though. He didn't win anything again.
It's because they
But-
buy shit players. No one expects them to actually improve.
Yeah.
Like, oh, well, yeah, they didn't get that much better, but they only bought
No, but they
rejects from
signed
City. But they
whoever.
still cost you 200 million quid for all of them.
And you know what it is? They signed Gabriel Jesus, and when City were going, oh, we need a striker.
Yeah.
We haven't got a number 9. While
Yeah.
they had Gabriel
I know.
Jesus, and then they signed him,
Yeah.
and we're like, we got a great number
He
9.
was
Yeah.
so
And
overhyped.
like, why hadn't he
I
scored
know.
30
He
goals?
was
Because
one
he's
of-
never scored 30
Yeah.
goals before. Like,
Can I just say as well, we were there, weren't we, in the mix zone? The way United players came out, I know United had just won and Arsenal had just lost, but there was a weirdness to
Yeah.
Arsenal players.
Go
as
on,
they
what do you
came
mean?
out.
everyone looked shell-shocked, pissed off, separated. Like, it didn't look friendly at all, did it?
No,
What,
it
the
was-
Arsenal lot?
Yeah.
It was
Well,
very much
they
heads
just lost
down.
twice in one
No,
game,
but
to be fair.
It wasn't that, because it is pre-season.
And it was their first team.
It is pre-season, and you would expect players maybe being a little bit annoyed with their own performance. No, it was not.
So,
It was comment-worthy weird, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
so just to be clear, they're not just walking past United press, are they? Here, what you're talking about?
All
They
of
was
the
walking past
press.
their own.
So their own
And they
press
was
is mixed in
walking
with you
past their own
guys,
stuff,
and
yeah.
they're blanking.
To be fair, Arsenal fan TV like, were probably shouting stuff at him.
They weren't there actually.
But they're
No.
not.
It was,
Well,
yeah,
it's
it,
well, it's 'cause he's a journalist,
I think
wasn't
Arteta made a point after the game. I saw a quote from him talking about how the players should be upset with their performance. So he'd obviously given him a bollocking.
it? Right.
But when you see how emotional Arteta was, what was it, like November when they were top of the league and he's going ballistic on the sideline?
Yeah.
I bet it's so like emotional swings with him where if you lose a pre-season game, you're getting absolutely volleyed. And when you win the first game of the season, we're going to win the league. Like, I bet it's
Thankfully,
draining.
though, that emotion doesn't transfer to the fans because they were proper calm at that game, the Arsenal fans.
Jesus.
But
They were
they
so
did-
chill. Do you know what I mean? With each other,
Have
especially.
we seen? I know what you're
was too
referring to.
low.
Have you seen it?
Yeah.
We saw it
the
live.
guy. We saw the guy that got filled in. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
There
bizarre.
There was two geezers at one point just squeezing each other on the floor, throwing a punch about every minute.
I
So
know,
this
what
is
was that? What was going? Like
They
they
were
were
just
hugging.
tired, like God, you swing one.
It's like round 15.
Herb Dean would have took a point off both.
This is
like Homer
the,
Simpson when he
the
was
fight
boxing.
between Arsenal fans, by the way.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
there's
all
no
Arsenal.
We saw it
at the
from
MetLife Stadium.
the other side of the stadium. You could see it, and I assumed it was United fans versus Arsenal fans. Then you see the footage afterwards; it's just Arsenal fans beating each
I wonder
other
how
up.
that kicked off. Does anyone know yet?
No, it was just really weird. And
But
it
it
was
was
like
the
it
proper
calmed
throwing
down and then
punches, though.
started again with other people involved.
Yeah.
It was just bizarre.
At one point, I saw a guy trying to split it up, and he's kind of looked at the geezer and gone,
No, you're right. Bang.
Yeah, you know what? Actually, have a bit of
He
that.
was making all the points in the world. Have this.
It was just a disastrous day then for Arsenal, wasn't it?
Yeah,
players
the way they came out was
the fans were
literally
fighting.
comment-worthy weird. Like I remember saying to Joe at the time, like it's because they weren't necessarily upset either. Because Declan Rice came out like pretty happy and
Yeah.
smiling. Didn't he?
Yeah.
He took some photos with someone. There was a couple of people that did stop, but it was the whole demeanour of how they walked out was just literally weird enough for me to turn to him and go, "That's really weird, isn't it?"
playing
What
victim
was-
as well are the Arsenal fans, aren't they? Like because of the
Yeah.
few tackles from United when Amad Diallo went off on crutches.
So just
Like what they
typical.
talk is just typical Arsenal. Innit?
What was the reaction
Soft,
from like
shandy
from the
drinking
Arsenal lot with the press?
twats.
Were they like, "What's going on here," or were they just sort of used to it? Did you
I
get
haven't
anything?
talked to anyone.
Right, that's
It
fair
also
enough. I
it,
don't expect
it
you
was
to,
weird
be
because
fair.
everyone was waiting for United, and then all United's players came out before any Arsenal players came out.
Yeah.
Everyone had sort of dispersed. There was like one or two Arsenal people behind us chatting, but like the clamour for the Arsenal fans was a tenth of what it was for the Arsenal players. Was like a tenth of what it was for United. So no one was chatting about it as much, were they? They just all got to go really. But it did look. They'd obviously just had an absolute bollocking, which is a bit surprising for a pre-season game.
And Steve got Bruno as well on the channel, so if you haven't seen that yet,
Yeah,
go
well
check
done, Steve.
that
It's good
out. Well
stuff,
done,
that.
Steve.
I gave him a
Stand-
cuddle last night as well.
Mm.
Oh yeah.
Did you?
Good on you.
Seen him. I was walking across the lobby. Seen him.
Did he have a choice in that cuddle or?
Yeah, he like.
Did
he's
he
walking
instigate
with,
it?
He's walking with Varane. Varane don't have a fucking clue.
Right.
And Bruno goes, "Oh, hey, bro, give him a cuddle." I said, "We're gonna win the league or what?"
What did he say?
I'm
Don't
not going to
answer.
tell you because we'll probably get in trouble.
Okay.
He replied three.
Yes.
He replied 4 words.
Grabbed
so-
me on the back of the head and he said, "Up the fucking red."
Got really.
Yeah.
He was walking around in his captain's armband as well.
Yeah.
Love
And I had
that.
no pants on at the time.
So he had his
Perfect.
captain's armband on as well.
Yeah.
But it wasn't on his arm.
Danny Shield says, "Can we not twist Jay and Joe's arms to come over to Dublin just for the crack? Throw in Joe McGrath for some absolute
Well, you
carnage
got crack?
content
Yeah.
for sloppy Joes."
We will be coming back to Dublin. Even though we're
Yes.
not coming for the game, we will be in Dublin very soon and we'll be able to chat and meet and
Trouble
see
with
everyone,
Jay is
so
he's
don't
got
worry about that.
children, so when he gets back
I know.
after here, he has
Listen,
to
it
spend
wasn't
some
my
time with him.
decision, but we had him, and now
Yeah.
we're stuck with him.
Yeah.
I do love him though. JB says,
well, some of them.
"Yeah." JB says, "Anyone know what happened to Charlie McNeil?"
He's here.
Yeah.
He's,
So
he's on the tour.
I wouldn't be surprised if you see him getting some minutes somewhere along the line. Nacho says, "Sign Kane is like when we signed Van Persie, even more so because the need for a 9 that we have is more urgent than then. Perhaps we could give Martial as part of the payment. Greetings from Buenos Aires."
Stupid suggestion.
Martial at Tottenham wouldn't be a terrible idea.
It'd
You
be
know.
class.
If he could stay fit, he'd do well for him. It's just that's the big
Well,
question.
that's the
Can he
entire
stay
if
fit?
of his career, isn't
Exactly.
Sad, isn't it?
Yeah,
it?
it is. It is.
It happens
The-
all
the-
the time. Look at Axel Tuanzebe.
Because you know all
Yeah.
them injuries from his early years. He's just hampered his speed and that as well. He used to be a lot quicker.
I
man.
also think he's bulkier than he ever used to be, like muscular. Like when he first came over, he was quite wiry and
But then he
slim.
might have
He always
done
had a
that.
bit of a back on him.
But
He might have
yeah.
done that to get like protection.
Yeah,
against
but
these
yeah,
injuries
I
and
think
stuff
you
like
see
that.
a lot of players where they spend 4 or 5 years in the Premier League and they're noticeably bigger than they were when they
Remember
arrived.
Memphis did it.
Memphis
He
did
came
it.
back and
Lukaku did
Absolutely
it.
jacked and tight.
Obviously, looks like Martial's doing it.
Did you see the interview recently with Adriano when he was talking about all injuries aren't physical? And he was like, when he came back from, was it an Achilles injury he had? And he said it was, he didn't feel like he had the explosivity that he had previously, and then your confidence goes, and then it's like a negative feedback loop, isn't it? It's like, before you know it, your career's over. Like,
And if you're like Tony, where you've had, I've got a hamstring, or I've had a groin, and then you're running on the pitch, you're probably tensing up a little bit,
yeah.
and then
In
you're
your
causing
head,
yourself
yeah,
further
causing-
injuries
causing
because you're not
effects,
running
innit?
naturally.
100%.
And that happens in every job. Like if you're at work and you're on your computer and you know your computer crashes all the time, you start working around the idea that your computer's going to crash. You save it more. Like all these
Yeah.
things. It's if you think your body's going to fail you, you're not going to push off. You're not going to go in for that tackle. You can't help but do it. It happens in
Sad,
every
man.
walk of life.
It's
sad.
like
So
when he,
good
when
as
he got
well.
a backlash
Might
after
be
the final
greatest
game
player
at
I've
Old
seen.
Trafford when he was holding his hamstring. And people like, just laying into him because obviously the FA Cup final, you want everyone available. He wasn't there, and you think he must want to play in that game. He must want.
You know how
to play in the FA Cup.
devastating it must be every time.
Like,
oh, fuck.
And like he just stood there, and you think, he's got.
And then you have to go through rehab.
I literally know. I'm dealing with it.
Yeah, exactly.
But you don't play sports professionally for a living, and like
and
it doesn't
it's
affect your
frustrating
career.
enough.
Exactly.
It doesn't
Frustrating
affect your
enough for
career.
me.
Do you know what I mean? Like it must be just like loads of players. I said the same thing about Phil Jones. Like my heart goes out to him, man.
Yeah.
And people go, "Oh, you earning $100,000 a week. You must make it easier at night." Money ain't everything, man.
Nice.
It definitely does make it easier.
It
though.
does.
Makes it a
Like
bit
money's
easier.
great, but it's not everything. Like
I think it's
mentally, if you're not there,
Look,
it
you've
doesn't
got to have the
matter.
fulfillment of your career, regardless.
You know, like so many ex-players when they stop playing struggle because they've not got the training, they've not got that thing, and it's like players to be at their peak in terms of age. Like Phil Jones was, he was 27, 28, not playing anymore. It's got to be hard for him. Like Tony M now, he's at an age where he should be smashing it. He should be 30 goal a season player, and it's just not happening for him. Go on,
injury as well. I think is the most heartbreaking criteria by which you're not good enough to play for a football team, because there's like if you're not talented enough, we're not talented enough, it doesn't keep us up at night. He's talented enough, he's got the mentality, he's got everything you need to be a professional footballer at the top level, but the injuries, like I think your body failing is the saddest one, because it's all there except you just can't, you're not allowed to put it into place. It's horrible.
Talking of horrible, who's your Wally of the week? Go on, I'll let you go first, birthday boy.
Well, that's tough.
It's not tough, but not allowed to say who it is.
It has to be Arsenal fans, isn't it?
Yeah, it probably is Arsenal.
Who scraps at a pre-season friendly?
Yeah,
Like
that's a good shout.
what are you
On
doing?
tour, everyone's having a good night,
Yeah,
and you're out here gobbing off. Imagine.
And you know what as well?
Who would do that?
Who would do that? And the thing is about pre-season, I love it. Yeah. Football don't matter really. Like obviously beating Arsenal twice in one night was great.
hilarious.
But really and truly, if you
97
lose,
minutes.
it don't matter. If you win, happy days. Everyone's here having fun. You're meeting new people, getting pissed. There's tailgates going on. Right, how can
Who's
you
your one of the
possibly
week,
be
Jay?
scrapping?
I don't know. I was gonna go with something Arsenal related. But
What's
then,
I've got one if you want.
go on.
Elon Musk.
Oh, with the X, Twitter
What
to
are
the
you
X
doing?
thing.
Why do you do that? Like he's just everything you can do to make branding seamless, to make that he's just fucking all of it.
I think
like he
I
comes in and
leave
changes everything
Twitter
all
soon.
the time.
Dear.
Or just
You're
stop
one of them.
using
You don't use it as often as you used to, but when you do, you seem to have like a big
I blitz
reaction.
like
reaction.
I'll
I
blitz
need
10
to-
minutes.
I need to throw the app on.
Are
Threads.
you still? Do you argue with people on Threads?
Not yet.
'Cause
It's nice. It's a
Is
bit
it?
Instagram's a
I don't
nice
know about
place,
that. Is it?
isn't it?
Yeah,
Also-
so you're getting the Instagram crowd on there.
Right.
With X,
It's the future.
what do you say?
I'm on
You've done a
X.
tweet. It's not a tweet anymore, so it's an X. People making the joke about X videos and all
But
that.
you're still
for when
gonna.
they-
Someone
but what
said
is
like,
it?
"I'm still gonna call it Twitter," and
But-
Elon Musk replied, "No, you're not." And you're like, "Well, he is."
Yeah.
You can't tell that
But then
person
eventually
what he's
people
gonna call
won't-
the app.
and everything gets all muddied, and it's not cohesive. It's like we're just going to change
Is
the logo and like.
Well, like with the Facebook Meta thing.
Yeah.
Did anyone go, "Oh, it's Meta now"? Or was
No,
everyone
because
just going,
Facebook's still called Facebook, isn't it? Yeah.
Right.
Is Mama named Twitter? I'ma call him Twitter.
Right.
Yeah.
So you've got Elon Musk. You've got Arsenal fans. Who are you going with?
No one's annoyed me,
Jay's
Jay.
worried here.
You're such a calm guy. You're
I am.
proper.
Smiley.
No. Yeah.
Two
Little
thumbs.
Zen stick.
Zen. You are Mr. Zen. So
I've
no
actually
Wally
never
of the
seen
week.
him annoyed.
I haven't.
Our hotel messing up the bed situation.
Oh, the current one, which
Yeah.
I'm not going to say the name of.
Yeah.
Yeah, me and Joel had to spoon last
I mean,
night 'cause we
Joe
didn't have a
what?
spare bed.
I'm
Sorry,
the
I
Wally
want
of the week because I put
Wow.
the wrong Moxie.
Yeah. Yeah. What an absolute sausage you are.
Yes. And then did you think you?
wait. He was blaming me before.
I know he
just
was.
admitted it.
I know he was.
Yes.
Right.
No, he blamed me.
You're all
about
still
you.
responsible
Like-
because it's a team effort. We win as a we
Yeah.
win as a team and we
Right.
lose as a team, and we also drive 45 minutes in a taxi as a team on my own.
Right.
We all turned
so,
up at the hotel in New York.
Yeah.
And then we were going up
And
the
I was
counter.
first in the queue
Yeah.
as well to make
Steve
it
goes,
worse.
I'm going to check in. They go, there's no Stephen Howson. He's like, is it under a different name? Is it under Adam? No, you're in a different hotel, 45 minutes away. So we all stayed in one hotel, and Steve was across New York
I booked
in
a
another
Moxie
hotel
in
by
His
himself.
hotel was better though,
Well, not when you're by yourself, it's
in
not.
a better area than that, wasn't it?
Was it?
Was it?
In
No.
Times Square.
Oh yeah, no, it's not.
Ours was good. His was probably good as well, but it just wasn't next to each other or in the same
Ours was
room.
right next to a
Man,
dispensary. which I
everything
thought was
is a
amazing.
mission away.
Yeah. Well, we're all in the same
Also,
hotel now.
by
Go
the
on.
way, I was in a king suite and my bed touched the wall on 3 sides.
Disgusting. Man of your stature. I'm
Does
still.
that mean it's a big
It is
bed?
big,
Drama.
No, it don't.
It is
I could
big,
touch the fucking where the wall where the telly was at the bottom.
Changing
with
the
my
channel
feet.
with your toe.
Well,
Moxies
that-
are all like that though.
Poxy.
stayed-
Is that what it stands for?
I stayed in one in Edinburgh.
Poxy
and
Mo-
Can
Can
I do
Moxie.
can I do an opposite of Wally of the week? just for this once.
Hero of the week.
Hero of the week is the guy who owns the butchers that we went to. We did a little Sopranos tour, and the guy was legend. He invited us in the back where they filmed Sopranos. He gave Macca Zambuca, Santani's. He gave Macca Zambuca at 9 a.m. And then he offered me one. I don't drink, so Macca had to have mine as well. He just poured mine into Macca's drink. He was just so friendly.
He let us go back in the back room where they filmed all the Sopranos.
He was ace. He was just a top guy.
Yeah,
I've never seen one episode of Sopranos.
I'll forgive you Love Island and all that nonsense, but Sopranos, get a grip.
I thought you were going to say I'll forgive you Love Handles at first.
I always forgive him.
He loves them.
It's part of his cuddliness. That's why Bruno wanted to cuddle him.
That's true.
Yeah. A big thank you.
He's a better cuddle than you think, Steve, actually. I'll give him that.
He's a great cuddle.
He is.
Yeah.
He is.
Great cuddle.
He's like cuddling a father figure and a sort of teddy bear all at once.
I love it when Steve's
Impossible.
offered people a cuddle when they've been kicking off in the past. It makes me laugh.
It's a great way to
He just doesn't care.
to diffuse it or make a situation far
Come
worse.
here, do you want a cuddle? No, I don't want a cuddle. Big thank you to Manscaped sponsoring the podcast. Thanks to everyone who got involved in the comments. You know where to find Stephen House. Go and check him out on his channel. You know where to find Adam McCullough. You know where to find birthday boy Joe Smith. Don't forget to hit like, share, and subscribe. 800,000 subscribers. We're going to be at the press conference later. No doubt McCullough or someone will be asking Eric Ten Questions. We've got loads more videos coming up. We're going to be chatting to Jamie Jackson about his article and have all the other good stuff as well. So you don't want to miss out. So make sure you are hitting like, share, and subscribe. This has been the Paddock Podcast. Thanks for watching.
Love you all. Bye.